One tonight's big story, a topic stirring up a lot of controversy. A federal judge ruling the National Day of Prayer is not constitutional. The reason, the judge says the line between church and state is blurred by the government's involvement in the event. In tonight's top story, 6 News reporter Janae D'Arcy talks to both supporters of this decision and those who say their civil liberties have been denied.
Reverend Larry Keith plans to fight the ruling all the way to the White House.
What we're really asking is that President Obama would actually repeal this decision.
He says it's a slam against civil liberties. As for separation of church and state, Keith thinks there shouldn't be one.
We would not have this nation nor the freedoms that we gratefully possess without the reality of the fact that there is no dividing line there. The church really should affect the state.
On the other side of the debate stands Sharron King, a member of the national group Freedom from Religion.
I am overjoyed that this has been declared unconstitutional, and I think anyone who really is supportive of enforcing the Constitution would agree.
Because, she says, the First Amendment declares government and religion should not mix.
Having a day of prayer is a thing that people should be able to do on their own without having it declared by the president. That's the problem.
We hit the street to hear from viewers.
It should be by choice. You know, it's based on if someone wants to. I don't think it should be forced, but I do think it should be made available for people who are interested.
I think it reflects a shift in our culture away from just religion in general.
And that's just a day we designate to celebrate all religions and of prayer.
Janae joins us now live in the studio with much more on this story. So Janae, I have to ask, first off, what does this mean for this year's National Day of Prayer?
Well, you know, Kristen, it's actually May 6th, and it will go on as planned. It will be in the Civic Auditorium here in Knoxville. And in fact, Pastor Keith feels that there may be more people there showing their support because of this decision by the federal judge.
I imagine that you talked to a lot of people both on camera and off camera who are very passionate about this. Did any comments maybe surprise you at all today?
No, what surprised me was it was a little hard to get people to go on camera to talk about this. As you know, religion, it's very personal. And we're kind of seeing a double whammy here because it's mixing politics and religion, since this is talking about the Constitution. And, you know, people feel very personally about their religion and their religious freedoms. And, you know, folks are so friendly in East Tennessee, and they said, yes, we're open to interview with you. When I told them the topic, they weren't quite as willing to share their opinions.
I guess we can understand, like you said, it is very personal for a lot of people.
Certainly.
All right, thanks, Janae. Well, the League of Women Voters and the East Tennessee Society of Professional Journalists are getting involved with the Knox County mayoral race tonight by hosting primary candidate